Hi, I'm Matt Mahler with MovieWeb. It's a pleasure to speak with both of you. Yeah, our couple of biblical proportions here. Very cool. Um, Iconic characters, iconic story. Uh, I'm curious for both of you. Did you try to draw from multiple things, previous portrayals, scripture, the Nevi'im, First Samuel, all that, Second Samuel, or did you try to limit your scope and just focus on the script and the director? I guess starting with Ayelet.
Thank you. I was actually fascinated by the material. I know the Bible because I was actually like it was my major in school, in high school, because math was definitely not my game. Um, so you have to do either that and literature. So it was combined with literature, which is really interesting and actually served me pretty well here. I found an immense amount of material about the period from podcasts and specifically about women in that time, because that's what I was interested in, to see where the women and what stories were told about the women and how they were perceived. And one thing I've learned was, for example, that they didn't have much agency because they didn't own any land. They were not supposed to have any land. But Ahinoam, on the other hand, is mentioned as someone who actually picked her husband, and not the other way around. She saw him, she went for it, and she, took him. So I thought from this, from this little seed, you can actually grow a beautiful tree of all sorts of characteristics that serves the story. And one of them is that she's very active behind the scenes and protective. She really cares deeply about him and about the family and protection of the family and protection of the nation. In her view, she's doing the right thing.
Yeah, yeah. She's
And
the wizard behind the curtain in many ways. And
yes.
Ali, what was your approach like? Was that similar?
Well, yeah, no, not really similar. It's different. Like for me, the whole story about Saul and the character and David, for example, like I know the story of David, but not really deep. And when I read the script and I really had this opportunity actually to dive into the Bible and really to read more about it, and I find it really fascinating in the Bible and as it is in the script and the way they wrote it and they bring it up to us. And I really fell in love with this character, and I felt like really lucky and to have the opportunity to play such role.
Yeah, it's an incredible performance too. First and Second Samuel and the Nevi'im is just parts of what could kind of be known as the first franchise over centuries. It's Ayelet, you're in a much more secular franchise with Daredevil and the new show. I was curious if you could comment at all how the new series sort of differs or compares to the first series, or your experiences on each.
Well, we have matured a bit. It's been a while. And I think also, the themes are always the same. Control, who's controlling this. So now it's gone beyond Hell's Kitchen into the city in the show. But I mean, they've done an amazing job, and this particular show it's interesting because I was talking about it and saying that these two women are so similar in some ways, but so different, because Vanessa is there because she's fascinated by the situation, she's fascinated by him, but both of them are very, very loyal to a fault. And Vanessa is there for him, but Ahinoam is there to protect more than just her husband and the family. She's really there also to protect the people. So she's a bit more nationalist in a sense, you know what I mean? But it's interesting because both shows have really strong male characters and forces of good and evil, but they are so complicated that you can't quite say that one is evil and one is not. They're very interesting and they're not one-dimensional, but they are male.
The universality of storytelling, 3,000 years ago to today. It's incredible, the connections. Well,
That's change. They are males.
yeah, hopefully. Well, let's get an Esther movie and have you start.
Okay, I'm fine.
Thank you both so much. I wish I could talk more about it, but I have to let you go. Thank you.